This video is brought to you by AGT Turbo for all your stock frame factory replacement power.
First, like I said, it started making power. A lot of these earlier runs had a lot more fuel in it, so it was running a little more richer, just to keep it safe, so I could start seeing where I wanted to start pulling the fuel out. I think, me personally, I think that turbo probably reached its like efficiency zone. More boost. It wasn't making more, or wasn't making anything less. Now, these basically are all basically the same runs, except for that 730 one. I tried something new on that one. It's just that after you make so many pulls back to back to back, there's more and more heat on the motor, more and more heat on the intercooler, so it's creating more heat, and it's more and more heat inside this shop. So the power isn't gonna keep jumping up or staying exactly the same, but it's pretty close. You know, right where I have you, but basically 759. This 759 pull is the same as this 749 pull, but I started taking fuel out. Okay. So in certain areas, and as I started taking fuel out of certain areas, the power band started picking up over the other runs. So that one, that the lime green one, that's 759. That lime green one right here. How much of a difference it picked up? Like this one, it's gonna feel way more spicy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because of all of that mid-range got picked up throughout the whole run.
No, literally.
The whole run, out of all the runs actually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So comparing up here, this peak. So for example, you can see at the same, right where it was, at that midpoint, those earlier runs, 553, 560, 585, and 618.
Yeah.
Like this, that's a lot of mid-range.
Yeah.
So a lot of mid-range going all the way straight through it. Now, it carries over nice and smooth, all the way straight through. Like I said, it just dipped a little bit more less because it started getting hot.
Okay.
Intercooler started getting hot. I'm pretty sure that intercooler probably already screaming with temperature.
Yeah.
Back pulls, engine starting to get hot, intercooler piping's getting hot, everything's getting a lot hotter, so things are starting to heat soak.
Yeah.
If I was to let this thing cool down, let the shop cool down, and then make another hit, it probably would be right about where it's at right here, or maybe like 4 or 5 more horsepower, right where it's at. But I think where you stand is exactly where it is. If you want to make more power, then you can probably go with an S3 cam.
Okay.
S3 cam. I mentioned to you the aftermarket intake manifold.
Okay.
If you want to do that, what size intercooler is this?
3.5.
3.5. I probably go to 4-inch.
Okay.
At this power level, I probably start going to 4-inch, and it's gonna start cooling off the heat.
Okay.
It'll start making more power. But then again, like these turbos are new, so we don't know where the max yet is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for the EvoX, I don't know anybody else who's been testing it on the EvoX, so we don't know where the max is. Like I said, on the Evo 8s and 9s, I've seen it where from Tyler, like where 770.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The ones I've seen is like 770. I haven't seen anything over 770 on those turbos. And you're right there at 760. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if they're making this much torque. You know what I'm saying? I know they're making like 5s, but I don't know if they're making this much torque.
Yeah.
So it's running really strong. It's running really good. Now I could do minor tweaks to keep making some more power, but if I do tweaks and they don't do a big jump increase, then it would be a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make tweaks just to make 5 horsepower here, 2 horsepower here, 6 horsepower here. Like if I make a tweak, I want to see a 15 horsepower or 20 horsepower jump. You know what I'm saying? So, and I revved it all the way out, further out than all the rest of these runs, and it's starting to lay over.
Okay.
So it's either it needs, you know what I'm saying, the max efficiency on the compressor housing or turbine housing is maxed out, or you can probably pick up more through the S3 cams.
Okay.
The S3 cams will have everything breathing a lot more. Sometimes you might sacrifice a little bit more or less on the torque, but you can compensate that with the boost controller. I can make that boost controller work a little bit harder and spool harder down low, and you'll probably pick up more, like start to carry out more on the S3 cams. How much more? This combination's new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like everybody's out here running this turbo. This combination's new. It came in with a lot of bugs, as you already saw it when you pulled in. I heard it. So from barely driving, you can't go over 3,000 RPMs. You can only do part throttle to this. Halfway through 800, almost 800 horsepower, like it's almost at 600 pounds of torque. Like this is gonna feel really good.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit. It's gonna pull. It's gonna feel really healthy, really strong. But I think overall this is fine. I'm gonna verify the drivability.
Okay.
Just part throttle, turn off the gears. I'm gonna go up to like high gear, cruise. Make sure the cruising is good. Make sure the air fuel ratio is good, and just to make sure it's healthy all the way straight through. And after that, we'll go for a test drive and we'll go on the road. All right.
This isn't the same car.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god! Yo, I thought front end was gonna fly off. Oh my God.
Feels freaking crazy.
Break that shit down. Go right.
That car drives amazing.
Yo. That's crazy. All right, man. So we just finished this car. So tell me overall how it went for you today.
I came with one car and I left with another.
So go ahead. Tell me how was it running before? How was it behaving before? And what it's driving like now?
Not idling, bogging every time I give it gas. Car is ripping, driving like it's a completely different car. Making power.
Right.
Driving super smooth, going through all the gears smooth, does not bog at all.
Stock frame, 64 millimeter on a stock frame housing from Tyler. So how did it feel just now when you went on the street, when you went for that test pull?
Ripping. It felt like...
How did the power band feel? Go ahead.
Amazing. Didn't have any problems with the car. Power band didn't cut at all. It was all the way through super smooth.
Right. How hard did it hit for you?
Hard.
One of your fastest car you ever owned?
100%. 100%.
So how was your experience?
10 out of 10.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming from, how far are you coming?
Miami, Florida.
Miami. How long it took you to get here?
Oof. 3 hours, 45 minutes.
Man, well, I appreciate you coming through, bro, and tuning with us, man. All right, bro. Thank you. Welcome back to the channel. This is Desmond Pierre. We're on Performance Destination, and we got a special car here, special setup. We're the first ones to test out his EvoX 64 millimeter turbo. Still utilizing the factory replacement, factory housing setup for an Evo, but it's 64 millimeter ball bearing. So I had a customer 3.5 hours south from Miami, came all the way to Orlando for me to tune his car. It's actually did surprisingly, more than surprisingly, very well today. It's a fully built setup, I-beam rods, pistons, sleeve motor. It has S2 cams, built head S2 cams, basic full bolt-on setup on E85. He didn't go with the MyVec Delete, but he went with the Torque Solutions gear replacement, just so we could make sure he has functioning MyVec for his setup. But I recommend him to do the Magnus Motorsport MyVec Delete for his exhaust. But overall, this car did very well. You know, we finished him right at 784, 590 foot-pounds of torque, and that was roughly around 37 pounds of boost, about 38 pounds of boost. And this car rips. It just wants more. You know what I'm saying? I could feel it. It wants more. But I think he needs a bigger cam at this point, because I think now we're starting to move into a territory where he has the low end, but now we could pick up more up top with a bigger cam, or we could at least test out a bigger cam, because there's not many people who runs this turbo on a 64 millimeter stock frame that I can go off an example, or I can go off of, let me see different combinations, let me see what worked, what didn't work. So what we're trying now is the first time recipe to see what works right now. So on the S2 cams, 64 millimeter built setup on E85, this is what it made. This is where we maxed it out today. Customer's extremely happy. This car drives good, idles good, cruises nice and smooth. We went for some street driving around downtown. Perfect, real comfortable. And then when I tell him to downshift and he hits it, this thing is literally blur vision. Like, you feel every 590 foot-pounds of torque out of this car. Literally, when he went for a pull, and by the time he threw third gear and upwards on the up top of third gear, I felt the ass end crank down, and I felt the nose lift up, and I really thought the car was about to go airborne. That's how much the ass end was cranking down, and it was dipping out. Like, it really surprised me. I'm happy to test this turbo. I've been wanting to test this turbo for so long, and I had a customer that had it, and I was willing to make it work for him. You know, I didn't want for him to come in and out. I didn't want to do, you know, quick service. Everybody knows I take my time on all my customers, so I just wanted to see where I can max this out. A lot of people know the Precision line of turbo, of the Precision 6466. The 6466 Precision compared to this is, the Precision has a bigger housing, turbine housing, and compressor housing, and also has a bigger wheel. This one, even though it's a 64 millimeter, it's still stock frame, so the power extends up early. It comes on strong. Like when we're on the street, as soon as he hits it, it comes alive. I'm not waiting for it. I'm not waiting for it to build. It comes alive right there and then. Every time he banged the gear, it literally pulled you every single throw at it. And that is extremely, extremely well for a stock frame turbo. Not needing to upgrade your intercooler piping, not needing to upgrade your manifold. Even if you had an aftermarket manifold, or if you had your stock EvoX manifold, this turbo bolts right to it. It's a factory replacement stock frame setup. It'll bolt right to it. It utilizes a 26 PSI internal wastegate, because at that 26 PSI, with this size turbo, it's designed to party up top. This is not I'm about to make 400 horsepower, 500 horsepower turbo. This thing wants to party up top, so the gate pressure is 26 PSI. And that's a great gate pressure for starting off for the guys who wants to get up in the 700 plus, 800 plus. I'm actually very surprised. I'm still lost for words how that car felt in the street. I knew it made power, but I didn't know what it was gonna feel like comparing to the other turbos I've tested, other turbos I've tuned, but this is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tyler at ART Turbo. He is very promising. For anybody who wants to test this turbo, anybody who wants to run this turbo, I can tell you it performed very well. Now, the next thing for us, we're gonna test it out on an Evo 8 or Evo 9, because I'm really gonna wick it up then. I love Evo 8s, Evo 9s. Don't get me wrong, I love my Evo X's, but Evo 8s, Evo 9s, that's my go-tos. But this was really good. If you're in the market for anything, even at a 600 horsepower turbo, this would do it. If you want 6, 7, or upwards, trying to get to that 8 range, this would do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much more power it can make, because there is nothing to say where it's maxed out at. I could turn the boost up more. Customer didn't want more than that. He actually, at first he came in wanting 600 on a 64 millimeter. I told him, like, you're built, your sleeve, you have Manley I-beam rods, you have everything. You have dual 525 fuel pumps. You know what I'm saying? FIC 2150s. You are designed, that whole setup was designed for this power level and more. But he said, look, you know what, let me get to 750. I started working it to the 750 mark, and I could have left it at that when it made 759 and 570 foot-pounds of torque. I could have left it at that, but I knew something was holding it back, and it was trailing a little rich before. I'm trying to keep it a little bit more safe, just in case. But I was like, okay, let me pull some more fuel out. Let me get it to the target AFR where I really want it to be on send. Let me let the engine cool off, let the intercooler cool off. We're gonna make one more pass, and we're gonna really see what it does. And that's when it made that 780, basically 790, 590 foot-pounds of torque, almost at 600 foot-pounds of torque. At 600 foot-pounds of torque in an all-wheel drive car with no spin, when you bang that gear and there's no spin, you feel every hit, every RPM, every shift point, you feel it all, and it feels amazing. If you would like to work with us, just like how he worked with us, you can reach me at 941-268-7493, or you can catch me on all platforms of social media at Performance Destination. Thank you for watching. Till next time.